structural reforms, diversify the productive base of the economy, and improve social services. The heads of state and government welcomed the progress made in the finalization of the Common External Tariff and directed the President of the ECOWAS Commission to continue working in collaboration with the UEMOA Commission on the creation of the Customs Union. They stressed the need for the effective implementation of the ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement of Persons and Goods and therefore called for greater ownership of the protocol by member states. The leaders reaffirmed their commitment to the conclusion of a fair and development-oriented Regional Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA) with the European Union. They welcomed the initiative of the West African region in fine-tuning the market access offer and directed the President of the Commission to finalize the proposals along the lines of the development objectives of the region. The summit welcomed ongoing efforts to formulate and implement infrastructure programs, especially energy and rail projects, and endorsed the Priority Action Plan for West Africa. The President of the Commission was instructed to pursue efforts at extending and improving on the efficiency of interconnectivity projects in all the countries of the region, including the West African gas pipeline. The leaders reaffirmed their determination to combat food insecurity in West Africa and requested the Commission to expedite action on the implementation of the rice offensive and regional programs to develop small-scale livestock farming. The summit directed that all necessary measures be taken to ensure the effective takeoff of the regional food reserve and address the environmental challenges more effectively. The heads of state acknowledged that democracy is being entrenched in the region with successful presidential and legislative elections in Senegal, Sierra Leone and Ghana, as well as Burkina Faso, which conducted legislative and municipal elections in 2012. On the issue of Mali, they urged the Allied forces to take all necessary steps within the framework of counterinsurgency operations to neutralize the suicide bombings and guerrilla attacks by extremist groups. The summit again thanked France for intervening in Mali and expressed appreciation to other countries that have shown solidarity with the people of Mali. The leaders endorsed the identified needs of AFISMA as well as proposals for its transformation into a UN peacekeeping operation. They directed the ECOWAS Commission to work with the AU Commission in respect of the formal request to the United Nations by Mali and ensure that AFISMA needs armament immediately. The Allied forces were urged to uphold human rights and international humanitarian laws in their operations. The summit welcomed the adoption of the transitional roadmap by the Malian National Assembly and urged the transitional authorities to create the enabling conditions for convening a forum to dialogue on issues of governance among the people of the northern regions. They took note of the decision to hold presidential and legislative elections by July 31st in Mali. On Guinea-Bissau, the heads of state welcomed the signing of the transitional pact by the major political parties in that country and encouraged interim President Manuel Serifo Namaju to propose a revised transitional roadmap to the People's National Assembly for free, fair and transparent general elections before the end of 2013. The leaders commended the officers, men and women of the ECOWAS mission in Guinea-Bissau, ECOMIB, for their efforts in ensuring the security of institutions and the population. ECOWAS leaders again called on the AU to recognize the ongoing transition and lift the sanctions imposed on Guinea-Bissau, while international partners were urged to consider the resumption of bilateral and multilateral cooperation in order to further encourage reforms in the country. The summit endorsed the ECOWAS counter-terrorism strategy and implementation plan to reaffirm the region's commitment to the fight against terrorism, piracy, illegal and irregular fishing, drug trafficking and other forms of transnational organized crime in the Gulf of Guinea. The heads of state also decided to enhance the operations of the ECOWAS Commission by increasing the number of commissioners in the Commission from 12 to 15. The climax of the closing ceremony was the announcement of the re-election of host president and ECOWAS chairman, President Alassane Ouattara, for another term as chairman. In his acceptance speech, President Ouattara noted that he is starting his second term with the threat of terrorism and piracy hanging over the region and promised to work with partners to resolve these challenges.
Le second mandat que vous venez de me confier s'ouvre dans un contexte régional caractérisé par la propagation du terrorisme.
The second mandate that you have given me follows the threat of terrorism on the continent and piracy on our coast. We will collectively overcome these challenges and engage our partners on our side. I would like to particularly acknowledge the contributions of our special invitees that honor us by supporting us in our efforts in the coup and particularly in the north of Mali.
He set out the priorities he will pursue during his second term as ECOWAS chairman. These are accelerating regional trade and economic development, eliminating obstacles to the proper implementation of the Protocol on Free Movement of Persons, Goods and Services, and political development.
Pour ce qui est du processus d'intégration régionale et des questions institutionnelles,
to secure the process and regional integration and the regional institutions, our objectives and our ambitions remain intact on the need for accelerated regional economic integration in the realization of infrastructure and in nation action plans. We have revived the necessity to acquire the best level in the nature of our trade exchange in an effort to maintain the dynamism of keeping faith in our regional space.
The 42nd Ordinary Summit closed on this note, but as the leaders departed, it was with the words of the ECOWAS chairman ringing in their ears as the region seeks to reinvigorate its integration dream.